What is happening, my YT gang? Y'all already know what time it is. We are back with another one. I'm hoping you guys having a great Saturday, man. It's a lot of good football going on right now. And as you know, the college football is officially going on. All right. Now, what I can say based off of the first game that we saw today, SMU versus Penn State, it was straight dominance. All right. Penn State, they went out there, they took care of business, they did what they had to do at home. SMU looked pretty good on the very first drive. You know, I was impressed with what they were doing. It looked like they were going to give Penn State a run for their money. And I don't know if you guys saw it or not, but in that first drive, I felt like the quarterback should have went ahead and ran for the first down. I mean, it was clear as day. He had it, but he got a little too greedy. I felt like he tried to make a pass when he really didn't need to keep the drive going. And it's like after that drive, it was just all Penn State from there. If you ask me, I would say that Penn State was too physical. They were too physical for SMU. SMU just could not get it going on offense. You know, another thing I would say is that SMU really struggled when it came to penalties. Penalties hurt them very bad in the first half, man. And it was no way they were going to be able to get a drive going or even compete with Penn State with all the penalties that they had in the first half. And then another thing that really hurt them is the turnovers. You look at it, the quarterback threw 3 interceptions, in which I think 2 of them went back for a pick 6. It's hard to stay in a game when you're doing things like that. When you look at SMU numbers, they've only given up 31 points all season off of turnovers. And in this very game, in the first half alone, they gave up 21 points off of turnovers. There's no way you're going to be able to stay in the game, especially when you're going up against a very physical defense like Penn State. To be honest with you, maybe it's just me, okay? But I really didn't see anything impressive about Penn State offense, especially in the first half. I mean, you take away those 2 pick 6s, like I said, you know, the score would have been a whole lot closer than what it was. Like I said, Penn State, man, they did exactly what they were supposed to do. They defended their backyard. They played a very, very physical game in which SMU was not ready for. This was Penn State's largest win in postseason bowl game history, in which the last time they had a big blowout like this was in 1996. Let me ask y'all a question. When you look at this game, when you look at how Penn State dominated SMU, do you guys look at it as if this is something that the committee got to figure out, being the fact that SMU, they just looked like they did not belong in the playoffs? Now, I'm not saying that they didn't deserve. I'm just saying based off of the way they played. Just looking at a team that has a very easy schedule like SMU, and then you compare them to a team like Penn State who got to go against Ohio State and other good teams. Is that something worth paying attention to going into the future? That's all I want to know. But congratulations to Penn State and good luck to you guys in the next round. Now let's move on to Clemson versus Texas. Another ACC team going against a very physical team, in which in the beginning of the game, it kind of looked like Clemson had no chance in even trying to match that physicality. Clemson really struggled offensively in the first half. Clemson had too many 30-long drives in the first half. And this is what really killed their momentum. But when you look at Texas offense, they were rolling in the first half before Ewers threw that interception. Clemson just could not find a way to stop Texas' running game. And once you get to a point where you can't do that, because this is something that they really want to do, they want to dominate that front line. And when you can't find a way to stop that, you're going to have a problem with Texas all night. In the first half of Texas' first 13 games, they only averaged 65 yards. In this game versus Clemson, they had a total of 148 yards in the first half. And this is a big win for Texas because now this creates the opportunity to open up plays for the passing game. And then when it comes to Texas defense, man, they front line just dominated the entire game. Now, granted, the very first drive, you know, Clemson looked good, but that was pretty much it. Check these numbers. In the very first drive, Clemson ran 12 plays for 75 yards and a touchdown. After that drive, they had a total of 22 plays for 107 yards with only 4 first downs. And the biggest issue for Clemson was that they could not find a way to get that running game going. And we all know when you can't keep a defense honest, that creates a whole lot of problems for your passing game. And as you can see, Clemson had to rely on the passing game a lot tonight. And because of that, especially with them having issues with their 3rd and long drives, it was impossible for them to even try to compete in the first half. But Clemson fought their way back in. Second half, man, they turned into a whole different team. Defense got a couple good stops. Offense was driving down the field and scoring when they needed to, but then they just came up short, especially on that one drive when they was on the goal line and they could not get in. And it was all because of that defensive line not allowing that run game to get going. Congratulations to Texas on making it to the next round, in which I think they got to play Arizona State. Now, you know, I don't know how this game going to go. I feel like it's going to be another game that Texas will dominate. However, if this game managed to stay close to the end of the game, Arizona State might have a chance. You know, one thing we can say about Arizona State, they do know how to win games when they're close. But at the same time, this is not the same team that they've been playing all season. So we'll see what happens.